At 4:20 in the morning, a person dressed in fake police gear quietly roams the halls of a Texas church. They don't run, they don't rush, they wander, almost casually. Doors are opened, walls are struck with a hammer. The person never looks at the camera. Less than an hour later, a beloved fitness instructor and mother of 3 is found brutally murdered inside that same building. To this day, no arrests, no suspects. Only surveillance footage so disturbing, it still haunts the internet. This is the unsolved murder of Missy Bevers. Terry, Missy Bevers was the kind of person people trusted instantly. She was 45 years old, a wife, a mother of 3 daughters, and a passionate fitness instructor in Midlothian, Texas. Missy ran an early morning fitness group called Camp Gladiator, often holding classes outdoors or inside local buildings before the sun came up. Her energy was infectious. Friends described her as upbeat, reliable, and deeply devoted to her family. She wasn't involved in crime, controversy, or dangerous lifestyles. Her biggest concern was helping others stay healthy. On the night of April 17, 2016, Missy posted cheerfully on social media, reminding her class that rain wouldn't stop their workout. The next morning, April 18th, she arrived at Creekside Church of Christ around 4:20 a.m. to prepare for class. She never made it out. Shortly before her class was scheduled to begin, participants arrived and noticed police cars outside the church. Inside, Missy Bevers was found dead, the victim of a violent attack. The crime shocked the community. Nothing appeared stolen. There were no signs of forced entry, and Missy didn't seem to be the intended victim of a robbery, which raised a terrifying question. Was this random, or was it personal? What makes the Missy Bevers case so chilling is the surveillance video. Security cameras inside the church captured footage before Missy arrived, and what they recorded has disturbed viewers for years. The person seen on camera appears dressed in police or SWAT-style tactical gear, a helmet, vest, boots, and gloves. At first glance, many thought it was law enforcement, but it wasn't. The individual calmly walks through the church halls, opening doors, peering into rooms, and occasionally striking walls and doors with what appears to be a hammer. There's no panic, no urgency, just quiet movement, almost like they were waiting. The most unsettling detail, the person's walk. Their gait is strange, feet angled outward, stiff posture, slow and deliberate steps. It's unnatural enough that it became one of the most analysed elements of the case. Viewers noticed the suspect never seemed surprised by the cameras. In fact, they often walked directly past them, unconcerned. Police believe Missy encountered this person shortly after arriving, and that a confrontation occurred inside the church. The attack was violent. The killer fled unseen, and the footage became one of the most haunting unsolved crime videos ever released. Investigators immediately faced major challenges. There were no clear witnesses, no confirmed murder weapon recovered, no vehicle definitively linked to the suspect. Police confirmed the suspect was not law enforcement, despite the uniform. Missy's husband, Brandon Bevers, was quickly looked at, as is standard in homicide cases, but was ruled out. He was on a fishing trip in Mississippi at the time, with witnesses and receipts supporting his alibi.
Tell me, Brandon, where were you when you heard about it? Can you give me a kind of a reaction?
I was in Biloxi, Mississippi, about to go on a fishing trip down on the Chandeleur Islands, and I heard about it this morning. I received a phone call from a couple of Missy's campers, and had I been out on that ship, I would have had no contact for a few days, but
What do you want people to know about your wife?
my wife was she was very passionate about transforming people's lives physically and mentally. She became involved in physical fitness a few years ago, and she transformed herself into just a very fit person, and her desire was to do that for others. And
Attention then turned outward. Was this someone targeting the church, someone who knew Missy's routine, or someone who just happened to be there? Investigators released the surveillance footage to the public, hoping someone would recognize the suspect. Instead, it created years of speculation. Thousands of people slowed the video down frame by frame, and one detail stood out above all else: the walk. As online sleuths analyzed the footage, comparisons began appearing across forums and social media. One name surfaced repeatedly: Randy Bevers. Randy Bevers is Missy's father-in-law, the father of her husband, Brandon Bevers. Some people believed Randy's walking style resembled the suspect's gait, the outward turned feet, the stiff posture. Videos and photos comparing the two circulated widely online. The speculation exploded. However, it's critical to be clear. Randy Bevers has never been charged. He has never been named a suspect by police. There is no publicly released physical evidence linking him to the crime. But oddly enough, weeks after the murder, Randy had taken a women's 2XL shirt covered in blood to the dry cleaners. He claims his dog got into a fight with another dog.
Minor thing, the dry cleaner had your shirt listed as a woman's XXL shirt. Just a mistake. That's your shirt. The dry cleaner listed your shirt with the blood stains on it as a women's.
Well, my wife's white shirt had blood stains on it too. So both of us had blood stains on her shirt and mine. So because
So there are two shirts of blood on it.
Yeah.
The one only listed one.
The one on listed one. Where's the other shirt?
The dry cleaners.
So the dry cleaner calls and says there's blood on.
I don't know what I don't know the
warrant?
conversation between the cleaners and the police station. Okay, I don't know that conversation.
But you're saying there's blood on two shirts.
There's two shirts that's got blood on. Okay. Okay.
And then, Randy, even though it's brought you this attention, would you say that you're glad that they're looking so closely
You better
at all
believe
of this?
it. You better believe it. You better believe it. If they weren't, they wouldn't be doing their job. Okay, so by them doing this, it tells me that they're being diligent and doing their job on any tiny little whatever comes across is being looked at, and it should be. So that's great.
Do you have a photo of that?
Law enforcement has stated multiple times that gait analysis alone is not reliable enough to identify a suspect. Randy was reportedly not in Midlothian at the time of the murder, and investigators have never confirmed any involvement. Still, once the comparison existed, it became one of the most debated aspects of the case, a reminder of how powerful and dangerous internet speculation can be. To this day, police have not identified the person in the footage, and the walk remains one of the case's greatest mysteries. Nearly a decade later, the murder of Missy Bevers remains unsolved. The surveillance footage still circulates. The questions remain unanswered, and the killer has never been publicly identified. Investigators continue to receive tips, but no arrest has been made. Missy's family continues to seek justice, not speculation, not rumors, but truth. Her daughters grew up without their mother. Her community lost someone who brought people together, and a killer walked away into the darkness. Somewhere, someone knows who that person in the footage is. And until that answer comes, the image of a figure in tactical gear slowly pacing a church hallway before dawn will remain one of the most haunting, unsolved crime visuals in modern history. This wasn't just a murder, it was a mystery caught on camera. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know what you thought happened below in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. If you like this type of content, leave a like and subscribe.